We're going to head into the Zoom room where we are going to check in with Rosanna Villagomez. She is the Chief Probation Officer over at the Judiciary of Guam to talk about how things are winding down for Probation and Parole Week. Good morning, Rosanna. It's been a long time since I've seen you.
Good morning, Sabrina. Yes, and it's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, too. In a different capacity. I know we talked a lot about Menengen. Right.
Oh, she wasn't your PO before?
No.
What?
That was when I was retired, so I'm back employed.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And so, yeah, tell us about Probation Week and Parole Week.
Well, Probation Week is celebrated nationally, and it's Pretrial Probation and Parole Supervision Week. And this has been through the efforts of the American Probation and Parole Association, which is our leading national organization in our field. And so this is the 22nd year that it's been celebrated. And it actually has not been celebrated here on Guam. We did it at one time with all our agencies, our sister agencies. That was way back in the early 2000s. And so within the judiciary this year, it's been, as we all know, it's been a tumultuous year, a lot of uncertainties, a lot of challenges. And so as a division, we thought internally that this was a good time to just take a break, recognize our week, and the events that we had this week were basically team building, morale boosting, and other staff development activities, just so that we can regroup, rejuvenate, and continue on with the work that we do in our service to the courts and the community. And so today is our last day. We started off on Monday, and it was a nice addition to the week to have a day off in between, in the middle of the week with Liberation Day. So that was a nice extra additive to our week. And so that basically is what we had been doing this week.
So how are you guys going to end Probation and Parole Week?
Well, today is Spirit Day, and so we're all wearing our probation T-shirts, and
Nice.
I have to show that off, and so
you flashed us.
And I'm sorry.
Easy, Sabrina. Sabrina just said you flashed us.
Oh, sorry. So,
Stop it some more, Rosanna.
Spirit Week, and so we just wanted to do that. We've got some other activities in the office, but the work never stops. We still have clients coming in. We still have court hearings to go to, and so that is what we have. We still have to serve the courts and carry out our duties, and so that never stopped during the week.
Let me just ask Rosanna, how challenging has it been to do probation and parole during this pandemic?
It has been. It actually has been challenging. With the pandemic, we were all in it together, and so not only were there concerns regarding our clients and their situations, but of course our own situations as well, and our family and taking care of them. And so for us, although even during the stay-at-home orders that the governor had issued, and with the executive orders, we also here at the judiciary, we go by our administrative orders, and so that comes out from the Chief Justice, and so there were also protective measures that were in place that coincided with the governor's executive orders. So our building, we may have been close to the public, but we still reported to work every day. We had a skeleton crew come in with officers, because we also had to comply with the social distancing mandates, which we are still doing. And at that time, until we had our building layout figured out, we literally had our procurement administrator, along with our deputy administrator of the courts, go around with measuring tape to just make sure in terms of the distancing and how many people can staff can return to the office in place so that we can follow the mandates, because staying safe is very important to us. And so we still continued. We switched gears from in-person reporting to telephonic email reporting. And so clients were checking in. Some would still come down because they were really concerned about violating. But we went through that process. It became more of, because we were all together, it became more of checking on them to see how they're doing, helping them with their needs. We've had, which has been good for us in terms of a culture change, because we are now referenced to as community corrections professionals or community corrections officers. We're out in the community. And so our field has been changing from being one of law enforcement to social work, and combining the two, and law enforcement coming in when it has to come in, because we still have to hold people accountable. And so during the pandemic, it was, making sure they needed food, being able to help get them access to food. We have a mental health court unit. And so the clients that had mental health issues because the public transportation wasn't running at that time, they needed their medication. They would coordinate with the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Clinic and literally go pick up the medication and deliver it to the homes. Our home visits were changed to, having them come out, because, you wouldn't want someone else in your home. In terms of it, doesn't matter if it's your probation officer, you'd want to protect your family, and so we were respectful of that. We basically focused on our high risk clients and concentrated on those real, and had to respond to those real immediate situations. So for example, we still had our electronic monitoring unit working. We had courts. We switched to teleconference for our court hearings, and then eventually Zoom. Same with the Department of Corrections, would not permit anyone in, so it became telephonic court interviews. We've done pre-sentence investigations through the telephone as well in terms of interviewing clients. But we still, and of course, with the emphasis in technology, had been moving towards more of using the technology like you see now. Everybody was learning Zoom, learned, and how to use technology. And so it's been a whole shift for us. But it's been also a good shift in that we are now, in terms of doing more, in terms of, helping our clients, recognizing that they have challenges, helping them to deal with that, and trying to also work with them to help alleviate the stressors. It's a lot of stress not knowing, especially if you've lost your job, where your family is going to live, if you're paying rent and you can't pay it, if you can't, where's the food going to come from? And then you have court conditions looming over you in addition to that. It's very, very stressful. And so we, it was a lot of creativity, a lot of switching gears, and assessing our situation to try and meet our needs, and switching to technology in terms of communicating and with our clients, texting, providing classes via technology in terms of virtual classes, and so it's been a real shift for us, but a lot of challenges, but some positive outcomes with that.
You mentioned stress, and albeit you guys have continued to maintain your operations, but did you guys see an uptick or anything like that in parole violations?
In terms of probation violations?
Parole violations?
Parole. We do not supervise parole. There is a parole office. So there are three. We have two other agencies that work in our field. So So we have the parole office. They're under the Department of Corrections.
Yes.
And so
yes,
they're the ones,
yes.
parole is supervision.
Mhm.
Parole is supervision after imprisonment.
Right.
They're still actually inmates and they're doing a term of supervision. But they're still under the custody, the jurisdiction of the Department of Corrections.
Mhm.
And so for us, probation is a sentence in itself without imprisonment. So parole has imprisonment, and then they're out in supervision. So we are they don't go to prison. We also have pretrial release
Yeah.
individuals, and those are the ones that are pending. They're going through the court proceedings
Right.
until their case is resolved in court. And so another agency we have is the federal side, the Federal Probation Office. So,
Yeah.
so they deal with the federal crimes. So we are the three agencies when it comes to community corrections here on Guam.
All right. Well, congratulations on commemorating Probation and Parole Week. Thank you for everything that you guys do for our community. And it's good to see you, Rosanna.
Okay. Thank you, Sabrina.
All right.
Good to see you too. And thank
Take
you,
care.
Chris.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank you, Rosanna.
talking to you.
Esta.
Okay.
Okay. It's 9:46.